Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Home the Guitar Podcast. Today I'm showing you the Danelectro 59X. I got this guitar in a couple weeks ago, and I did an unboxing video of it, and ever since, people have been badgering me on all my other videos, saying, hey, why are you making this video? Why aren't you covering the Danelectro? We want to hear the Danelectro. What do you really think about the Danelectro? Where's the Danelectro? I get it. Okay, here I am. We're doing it. Here's the Danelectro. It's Danelectro Day. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just doing this Danelectro video. All right, let's do what I normally do when I'm talking guitars. I start at the headstock and I work my way all the way down to the body and everything going on the body. Let's talk tuners. This guitar comes with a set of tuners with a vintage aesthetic to them, but they're fully modern, very smooth, very firm tuners, nice and stable. I've had zero tuning issues with this guitar while playing with it. I used it for a double set this past weekend, about an hour or so playing, and it didn't fall out of tune once. I tuned it at the beginning of the set, and I didn't have to touch it again. It was really great. So yeah, there's no reason to swap these tuners out unless you have a personal preference for locking tuners or a different ratio or a different aesthetic. But that's all on you. Nothing wrong with these bad boys. Let's talk about the nut. The nut is your classic Danelectro style aluminum nut. It's cut very well. No pinging or tinging when I'm tuning the guitar or doing my big stupid bends that I like to do. It just sounds great. It's comfortable. It stays in tune. What else can you ask for? Part of the theory behind having a metallic nut is that it gives you the same or similar response to your fretted strings. So your open strings are a lot closer to the sound of your fretted strings. What a novel concept. Why don't more guitars have that, honestly? It's pretty cool in my opinion, and I'm glad they kept that classic Danelectro feature on this guitar. The neck is very comfortable. Up at the nut, you have a nice, compact, and kind of small C shape going on. Very comfortable to hold in a modern way, and then it blends down to sort of a flat, modern D shape at the 12th fret. It gives you a nice transition between holding your cowboy chords to your thumb being on the back of the fretboard for your deedly-deedlies on the higher frets. The fretwork itself is fantastic. I can't believe how good the frets are on this guitar that costs $450, a very accessible price point for a very playable guitar. Nice smooth edges, no binding, no stabbing into your skin or anything like that. The frets are just really nice. Completely honestly, this is a great playing guitar. The strings ring true across the entire fretboard. The action is nice and low, no dead spots, no buzzes, nothing like that. This is a player's guitar. That's my review in a nutshell. This is a player's guitar if you're a beginner or you're more stylish or you're, a master expert guitar player or whatever you want to call yourself. This is a completely accessible and playable guitar, and there's no reason to not pick one up unless you don't like it. But of course you like it, right? I mean, you've been begging to watch this thing, and here you are watching it now. The neck heel is fairly large on this guitar. It's a classic Danelectro sort of thing. It meets up with the neck around the 14th fret. Honestly, doesn't bother me. My thumb is still on the back of the fret when I'm doing my deedly-deedlies up here. If that bothers you, that's a personal preference sort of thing. It's honestly not the worst fret access of any guitar that I own, but it's also not the best. You can get your hand all the way down there. It's not like those frets are forbidden or anything. Let's talk about the body of this guitar. It is made out of masonite, which is the classic Danelectro material for making guitars out of. It's what they've done forever. I was wondering about the body when I was looking at it at Winter NAMM, and I talked to the rep and he said, yes, they're still all made out of masonite. It's just a different kind of finishing process where the whole thing has a more standard like paint finish over the whole thing. The classic Danelectro style construction features a piece of like vinyl tape around the edge to cover up the seams of the sandwiched masonite. And I think this is an attractive solution. I liked on the 59 new old stocks where they would have a painted stripe on the edge, but I think this is a cool look too, honestly. It does have that masonite feel. What the Danelectro rep at Winter NAMM called it was the masonite bite. I think that's a really fair way to describe it. It's got a really nice high-end clarity to it, good note separation when you're strumming and chording and finger picking and things like that. The low end and the low mids are really nice and tight. You're not going to get big flubby low end out of this thing. It's not a bassy sounding instrument at all, but the low end is there. It's got the full frequency range as far as I'm concerned. It's a very nice feeling and sounding guitar, in my opinion, but use your own ears. You be the judge. Go pick one up, see what they feel like. Let's get into the pickups. The neck pickup is what the Danelectro rep called a P90-ish pickup, and I think that's fair. It's not fully like a P90 sounding pickup, but it has a lot of the qualities. It's got a good amount of output, has a nice mid-range to it. It's not, bright or twangy or jangly like a conventional single coil. It has a P90-ish thing going on. It's totally fair. And I'm a big fan of having P90s in the neck position coupled with a humbucker in the bridge, and that's what this guitar has. It's a very usable setup, and I'm glad they went this direction. Let's talk about the bridge pickup, which is a humbucker. It's a lipstick humbucker. These pickups have been around for quite a while now. They used them back in the 93 issues of Danelectro back in the day when I was a teenager learning how to play guitar. And I think they have merit. I think they sound great. Nice, modern, punchy, good output from this humbucker, matches well with the P90. And of course, you can pull the tone knob out like that and get a coil split, giving you the classic jangly, bright Danelectro single coil lipstick tube sound that every Danelectro should have in it, honestly. You can get your classic sounds out of this. You can get a wide variety of other sounds. Lots of variation in this guitar for only having 2 pickups and a 3-way selector. You get your bridge humbucker, bridge single, middle position gives you the neck and your single with the coil tap on, and of course neck with a coil tap off. You get the humbucker blended in there, and of course the P90 setting. 5 different settings that all have very different things going on. It's a very versatile guitar as far as pickup sounds go. Let's get into that right now. I'll show that off. As you can hear, each setting sounds very different from the last. Like I said, this is a very versatile guitar tone-wise. There's a lot to choose from. When I was playing it live, I had a blast switching between the different pickup selections and really just changing my sound on the fly as I needed it. Lots of character in the coil split sound from the humbucker. Lots of character in the neck pickup, P90-ish sort of thing going on here. And all the modern sounds and convenience you can expect from the humbucker. I think this is a really winning combination. I can see why they're putting this setup into a lot of different guitars right now over at Danelectro. I want to talk about the bridge hardware now. This is not your classic, typical Danelectro style bridge. The classic Danelectro bridge is a little sheet of metal suspended on a couple screws with a piece of wood on it as your only string saddle for all the strings. There's no intonation adjustment. There's only a little bit of action adjustment. It's quirky. It's kind of endearing. Like the Danelectro purists prefer that style of bridge. They don't age well. If you play them a long time, the bridge starts to sag in the middle and you have to replace it. I think that this bridge is a big upgrade, and it makes this guitar the playable player's guitar that it is, the fun guitar that it is, the guitar that I'm excited to play every day for the last 2 weeks. This bridge just makes it, honestly. When the new old stock version of this guitar came out and they first introduced this style of bridge, sitting in this like soap dish cutout in the top of the guitar, I was kind of like, that's an odd choice. It's not terribly aesthetically pleasing. It's a really weird way to mount a bridge. But now that I have one in my hands and I'm getting to play with it every day, I really appreciate what they've done here. Yeah, this soap dish cutout is quirky, but it's quirky in kind of a very Danelectro sort of way. It's a solution that I'm not surprised by at all from Danelectro, it makes total sense for their thinking of design and their thinking of how to build guitars. It is completely functional. It totally works. It has improved the playability of the guitar, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of it now. If they had put the bridge in a typical style of installation, it would have been much higher off the body. They would have had to angle the neck in a dramatic way. It would have played more like a Gibson guitar than in Danelectro. By sinking the bridge into the body the way they did, they kept the Danelectro feel of a flat neck to the body sort of thing. And I just really appreciate it now. I think it's a really cool thing, and I don't have anything else to say about it. I think I've said it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. And of course, the tunematic style of the wraparound bridge gives you intonation control over every string, and it gives you some really nice action control with the 2 screws on the side. It's a really standard sort of setup that a lot of guitar players are going to be familiar with. In closing, I just got to say, I'm a big fan of this guitar. I'm having a little bit of a love affair with it lately. I put off doing the demo of it just because I was having so much fun getting used to it and playing around with it and learning its ways. I think it's a completely appropriate guitar for any beginner to pick up. It's going to get you a wide variety of sounds. It's going to be completely playable. It's not going to interfere with your learning process at all. It's going to look really cool. You know, they come in a lot of different colors that are fun. And also, it's a great guitar for anyone who's Danelectro curious but doesn't want to deal with kind of a lot of the quirky issues of the older models or other models. It solves a lot of issues and brings it into the 21st century as a player's guitar. I can't recommend it enough. Go buy one. $450 for this version, $500 even for the version with the Strat style tremolo on it, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I got to play that version at Winter NAMM, and I recommend that as well. Very fluttery, loose, fun tremolo on that thing. Anyways, please like, subscribe, dislike, leave us nasty comments if you want to. If you really want to support this channel, look us up on Patreon. There's links in the ending screen, and there's links down below here. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.